Hello everyone, I'm Alicia and welcome to my Beautiful Nights channel. So I don't know about you guys, but ever since I designed these loopy leather beaded bracelets, I have been totally obsessed with this looping technique. It is all I think about, it's all I want to do, and I've just had so many ideas on different pieces of jewelry that I can make using this looping technique. So if you didn't see this video here for my first original bracelet, I will leave a link for this bracelet down there in the description bar so you can go and watch it. Now in that video I talked about different kinds of materials you can use, where you can get them from, and some other information that I will not be covering in this bracelet tutorial. So please go watch that video first if you haven't seen it, so you'll better understand this video. And also, it's a good thing to learn how to make this one first, and to probably make it first before you try making this one, because this one here was very easy to make. This one here is going to be more advanced. So if you make this one first, it'll just be so much easier for you to make this one here. Okay, so now I'm going to show you the bracelet that I am going to be working on in the video. Here is what it looks like. It is so beautiful. I love it so much. Somebody commented on this one here and said that this kind of looks like a Celtic knot. And I kind of thought that too. And then when I started designing this one, wow, I think this one really does have the Celtic knot look to it. It's so gorgeous. So, what I did, this one I used one piece of leather. This one I'm using 2 pieces of leather, and I'm basically connecting 2 bracelets together by using a bead in the middle that has a very large hole. You can see how big this hole is. So my hole is big enough that 2 1.5 millimeter pieces of leather cord can fit through. Now you don't have to use the same exact beads here that I am using in the middle. You just need, like I said, a bead that is big enough that 2 pieces of leather cord can fit through. Now these beads here I've had in my stash forever. They're so unusual because just look, there's a pattern on this side and then the other side is different. They're so weird. So like I said, you don't have to use this same bead here in the center, okay? You just need a bead that has a large hole so you can put 2 pieces of leather through it. So this one here was actually the first one that I made. These here are little like donut ring beads. I got these from Micheal's. They were in the green label strands in that section. And this here is a purple iris. And I showed these in a bead haul where I got them in 2 colors. I got the purple iris and I got a brown iris, which is a matte finish. And anyways, you can use just about anything that has a big enough hole that 2 cords can pass through. And these here are probably 3 millimeters wide. So as you can see, that's how that looks. These gold ones I think are 6 millimeter from hole to hole. So you can use different sizes, and it's just great to experiment and see what will work for you. So before I use these metal beads, I went through all of my beads, and other than using these rings, another idea I had was to take chain like this that has the big holes, and I was going to take the links off individually, and I was going to use these to put my leather through. It's a nice touch of metal in the piece, so it would be like that and my leather would go through it. And then I realized, because this is round, and I also thought about using just jump rings, and then I realized, well, jump rings and this chain here, because it's round, there's a seam in this, and this is going to be spinning around, and this will be seen on the top of my bracelet, which isn't a big deal, but it made me think I should use an oval chain. Because it is oval and there's 2 pieces of cords going through it, the opening on the chain will stay on one side and the cord can go through it. So as you can see, there's the opening right here, so my 2 pieces will go through that and the opening will stay in the side. It should not spin around, it should stay just like that. So this chain here would also work great for this. So there's so many possibilities. I hope that you guys can see all of them with me. Go through your stash, look for beads that you have right now that will work for this. You probably don't have to buy anything. You probably have stuff. Somebody posted a picture when I made this one here on Facebook of the bracelet she made using this technique, and she didn't have these 10, 20, and 40C beads. She had some acrylic beads that had large holes, and they worked for this because she was able to put the thick leather cord through them. So there's just so many possibilities. Look through your stash. See what you have. See what you can fit your leather cord through. And if you don't have beads with large enough holes for the center, like I do here on this one and this one, and again, I got those from Micheal's in case you want to go check them out, you could probably get away with using a chain or something else. Here is a list of materials you will need to make this bracelet. You will need to cut 2 5-foot lengths of 1.5 millimeter leather cord. You will also need a button, and you can use any button that your leather will fit through. You will need 1/0 or 2/0 seed beads. You will need beads with large enough holes that 2 pieces of leather will fit through. These beads here I got from Czech Beads exclusive. Right here's the website and here is the product code. They had these in different colors, but you do want to make sure that the ones you get are the same size as this one here. If you do want to get in a different color, so they'll work for this bracelet. You can see the colors in the pack there. And I just love those. And this is the other one I was talking about that I got from Micheal's. This was a green label strand. They're really pretty. It's an iris brown. These will also work. They're the same size as these. It's just a different color. And remember, I always put the list of materials down there in the description bar so you guys can see everything you need. And please look down there because I always have information that I didn't talk about in the video. So please check that out. So just like with my other bracelet, I'm going to be making this using a binder paper clip thingy. I like to put this on the front of my desk. This keeps my bracelet from flipping. We have to work on the same side of the bracelet throughout the entire making of this, because if it flips on us when we work on the other side, the bracelet is not going to be laying flat like this one is. Look how flat and straight this one is. It will be twisted and stuff. So if you don't have a setup like this, you can use a clipboard or you can use my wooden loom that I make wrap bracelets on. And I have a video on that and how to make it. So I have, I'm going to bring my camera down here. I have 1 piece of leather here, okay. This button that I'm using, only 1 piece of leather fits through it. This one I managed to fit both through, which was really nice because I didn't have to fidget with getting the ends even as much as I do this one. So I'm putting my ends together, putting them down through the clip thing here. Okay, and I'm bringing this button to the very center of my cord. Okay, now I got that done. So now what I'm going to do is take my second cord. By the way, this was just 1 piece folded in half. Now I'm taking my second cord, and I have to put the ends together and find the center on this one. Okay, so here's my ends, finding the center right here. Now what I'm going to do is hold these 2 together, hold this cord over top just like this. I'm going to use these 2 fingers to keep these together. I'm taking this cord here and I'm picking up one of my beads that has the gigantic hole, which for me is these little donut ring Czech bead thingies. I'm sliding that down, and then I'm going to take this cord here, okay? I'm going over top of this cord, and then I'm going underneath and through this hole. Just like this, slide this up. This bead here needs to be in between these cords. So I'm going to bring it up like this, okay, and now I'm going to swap hands and hold it like this. I'll zoom in a little bit more for you guys, okay? So now I have this cord here. What I'm going to do is go over top of this one, okay? Pass through this bead that I just added, and then come underneath this cord and pull this through. Just like this. Pull this leather up. So now we have this. Okay, if you didn't understand that, just rewind the video and watch it again. So now what I have to do, whoa, zoomed out too far, is get my cord lengths even. I need them to be even. I don't need one being like 2 inches longer than the other, because it's going to throw this bracelet off. Okay, my button cord's even, and now I'm going to get these 2 even, and once I do, I'll be back. So I got my ends even, and now I'm going to slide this knot up. And by the way, I did pull this tight like this and scooch this together. And now I'm going to pull this up here. And if you look at this one, you can see how I have this little bit of space here for movement for my button. So I want that to be the same. So I just have to actually pull it up too much. So I think right about there, that looks perfect. Okay, so now I'm going to add more beads. So I'm just making sure that's sitting right. Okay, I'm going to take this cord right here that I made my first loop with, alright, and I'm going to put a 1/0 seed bead on it. So slide that up just like that, and then I'm going to take this cord and I'm going to go over the one I just added the bead to, and I'm going to go through this hole. Put the bead in this loop and slide the loop up just like this. Now I find that it's always best to put these loops between your fingers and pull the cords so they're nice and tight like that. Now I'm going to do the same thing to this side. So I'm going to take this cord here and put a 1/0 seed bead on it. Then I'm going to take the one beside it, this one here, go over top of this and underneath, over and under, making a loop. I'm going to slide this bead up. Pull that tight. And make sure that your cords are always sitting side by side, parallel to each other. Do not let them overlap one another. So now I made a loop with this cord. Now I have to make a loop with this cord. So I'm going to set these two over to the side. Okay. I'm going to take this cord here. I'm going to pick up a ring, slide that down. I'm going to go over this one, this cord here, and through this hole. Just like that. Slide this loop up. Okay. Then I'm going to pull everything tight. And again, it's best to put all of this looping here between your fingers and pull both cords so it looks tight like that. Now I'm going to go over here. I'm going to take this cord. I'm going to go over top of this one. I'm going to pass my cord through this ring here. Okay, and I'm going to pull this through before I do my next step. Okay. So pulling that through, because it's kind of hard to do it later. So now I pulled it through and I have this. And I think I'm going to zoom in for you guys a little bit closer. So now I have this. Now I'm going to take this cord, okay, the same one I was working with, looping through that bead with, and I'm going to pass up through this hole. And then when I pull it, it's going to do this for me. So now I pull both of these cords here tight. Okay. And see, this one's looping up, so now I have to hold this here and pull this cord. Did I say it's looping up instead of loosening up? I cannot talk today. Please forgive my speech impediment. It is so bad, especially when I make videos. Okay. Pull that tight, pull this tight, and I just fidget with it and I make sure that everything looks even before I go too far. Okay, so now I'm ready to add some more beads. I'm going to take this cord here and put a bead on it. Slide this down so you can see where the bead's at. So I have a bead on this cord. I'm going to take this cord, this one right here, go over top of this one, and then through this hole, making a loop like this. Slide this bead up into place. Okay, and I pull both sides to make sure it's tight. So these two here were kind of twisting like that in this direction, and I remember before when I made this one, I just took my awl and I came in here and I went like that, because it's just the friction between the leather and the bead that's making it going in, you know, crooked. So I just fixed that there, and again pull this tight. So now I have to take this cord right here and put a bead on it. My 1/0 seed bead. Slide that down. These two cords here I will get out of my way. I'm going to take this cord and pass over top of this one and pull my cord through the loop. So now I have this. Make that bead stay in the loop and pull the cords tight. I'm pulling this one here tight, that's tightening that loop. Pulling this tight, and it's tightening the loop around the bead. Now I'm coming back over to these two cords, and I'm going to take this cord here and pick up my center bead with a big hole. Slide that down. I'm going to take this cord, go over top of this one and through this hole. And then I'm going to tighten everything up. So I see right here that it's getting loose, so in order to fix that, I'm going to pull the cord right here tight and then bring this bead up and push everything up and pull it all tight. Okay, now I'm going to leave it right here. I move my right cords over to the side, and I have to take this cord. I'm gonna move my camera and go for you guys. I'm taking this cord. It's gonna lay over top of this one. Then I'm gonna pass through my bead with a big hole. Pull the cord through. Okay, so it's like this. And then I'm going to take my cord and go up through this hole here. Just like that. Pull this tight. I like to hold it between my fingers like this, pull both of these tight, and then pull these tight here. And slide this up. And again, if you notice any of your beads going crooked, just come in here with an awl and straighten those out. Actually, I can straighten these out with my fingernails because they're kind of tall. Okay, pulling that tight. It all looks good now. I can move on. So I'm going to take this cord right here. If you look, how I know which cord the bead goes on, I look at this bead here, my last bead, okay, and I could see this cord here comes around and loops around. So I know that it's going to be this one. So taking this one, putting my bead on, sliding it up, and also how I know is the last loop I made was with that cord there. So sliding this bead up, I'm going to take this cord, go over top of this one and through this hole, making a loop. I want my bead trapped in the loop, and I'm pulling that bead up. Put these two cords over here to the side, and then go to these two. I'm going to put a bead on this cord right here, the outer one. Take this cord, go over top and through this hole, and pull it through. Pull it tight. And adjust as you need. Okay, so now I'm going to separate my cords again. Now I'm going to take this cord on the outer edge, pick up another one of these beads, slide that down. I'm going to go over top of this cord, then underneath and through the hole. And before I bring this up, I'm going to pull this tight because I see that loosening up. And then bring this bead up. Pull that cord tight. And adjust everything. And again, make sure your cord is sitting side by side, not stacked. Now back over to these two. I'm going to take this cord, go over top of this one. Okay, and then I have to take the end and pass through here. So I'll pull this through before I go through this hole, because it makes that easier for me. And then up through this hole. Just like that. And pull everything tight. I like to scooch that up. Pull this tight. Okay, now we're ready to continue on again. So I'm going to take and adjust my camera real quick for you guys. This right here, this cord, this is the one that I have to put my bead on. Slide the bead on. Just like that. Put this cord over here. Over that one and pull through the hole. There we go. Slide that up. Pull it all tight. Put these two cords off to the side now. I'm going to work with these two. I'm going to put a bead onto this cord. Take this cord here and go over top of this one. Pull tight. Take these two cords, put them off to the side, go back to these over here. I'm going to take this cord, pick up my bead with the big hole, slide that down. I have to go over top of this one and through this hole. Bring this bead up. I'm going to pull everything tight here again before I slide that bead up. And there we go. Okay. Then I'm coming back over here to these cords. I'm going to take this one here. It has to go over top of this cord, passing through this bead. Pull the cord through. Oops. Just like this. Tighten this up. I gotta tighten everything up. It's getting loose again. I'm going to take this cord that I passed through that bead and then come up through this hole. So now I have this. Pull these two cords here. Pull these two on the sides. And just tighten everything up. So it looks pretty good. I love it. Okay, so I'm just going to keep going a little bit more with you guys because this is pretty confusing at first. But I do need to adjust my camera angle. I'm going to take this cord here and put my bead on that one. Slide that down. Then take this cord, go over top of this one and through this hole. Capture the bead in the loop. And pull everything tight and bunch it up. Put this to the side. Take this cord, put a bead on this one. Take this cord, go over top of this one, and then through the hole. I don't know why this looping technique, whatever, has just become so awesome for me. I love it so much. I really am like obsessed with it. I just keep thinking of different things I could do with it. And I'm going to try and film another video using this technique to make something else. So hopefully I can do that today. I don't know, it is kind of getting late. So now I have this. So I did this bead. Now I have to do the center one. So I'm going to take this string here, this cord, put the bead on. I'm going over top of this one into the hole. And again, sometimes you have to go back and check, make sure that's tight before you pull everything up. Because once you get so far, you can't go back and fix something unless you undo it. Which what I really love about this is if I make a mistake, it's no big deal. I can undo it. I'm not wasting any material. You know? You can always undo the leather. So now I have this. Taking this cord here, I'm going to go over this one, take the cord, go through this bead, just like that, and then pass up through here and pull this tight. So I kept going with my bracelet, and as I go, if it looks like it'll fit me, I wrap it around my wrist just to check and see if it fits me. I think this one here might be a little bit too big for me, and I might have to take out this row here. It just seems too big. But yeah, you want to try it on, and you do want it to be, you know, a little loose, and you can kind of guess where you have to stop. And then once you do that, we have to do this part right here, which is just this strange little knot that I came up with to keep this area from loosening up. So what I do is I take the outside cords, okay, I'll do the right first. I'm going to go under this cord and over this cord. So pull that like that, okay. Then I take this cord, I go over this one, under that one, over this one, and then I go through this hole right here. Okay, so when you pull it, it looks like this. There it is. And then you're just gonna slide this up and tighten this knot up. Just try to get it to look even. That's what I do. So like that. Okay. And then I have to take my bracelet off of here. My button won't pass through, so I just open that up. And there we go. And we're ready to finish our bracelet off. So now I'm just going to tie gigantic knot with all 4 cords. This one here turned out really tidy looking. This one here not so much. I could redo it. It's not that bad though. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's totally up to you. So to try to get a clean looking knot, what you want to do is to have all of your cords staying side by side, which is kind of hard to do. So I go like this, okay, and then keeping them side by side, I put them through this hole, It's kind of hard to do this. I kind of have to do it repeatedly to get it just right. Because they want to go over each other. Okay. And then pull the knot down. And I kind of find if you twist this, it goes smoother. But you can't pull it too tight because you have to get your button to go through it. So I could fidget with my knot all day to get it perfect. But before you pull it too tight, make sure your button will go through it. Okay, and you want to pull all of these individually to tighten the knot up. And I think I could do a better job of mine if I played with it more. So I'll probably do that. So that's pretty much it. It's very gorgeous. I love it so much. I hope you guys love this too. I think I might actually be taking off the last row on these two here, because these here two seem just a little too big for me. And a little tip, whenever you guys wear a bracelet with a button on it, something I've noticed, whenever I put the button on the back side of my hand like this, and then hold the knot here in my hand, it seems so much easier to put on. I gave my sister a bracelet, the other one that I made last time, and she was trying to put it on. I'm like, why are you struggling so much? Just do it like this. And she's like, oh, that makes total sense. So just put the button on the back side of your wrist and then pass the button right through. You want to hold on to the knot and the cords here. And I don't cut a whole lot of this off. I maybe cut it to like there, because I used that to hold on to when I put the bracelet on. So yeah, I really love how it turned out. It's so cool. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and look out for my next video. Again, it's going to be on looping, but it's going to be something different. It's going to be pretty cool. This is it. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like this video, leave me a comment, subscribe if you want to see more videos, and make sure you click the bell button so you get notified when I upload new videos, and like me on Facebook. And don't forget to share pictures of the jewelry you've made from my videos on my Facebook page, and follow me on Pinterest. Thanks for watching.